In the late 1700s, the Great St. Bernard Pass was a graveyard. Over 4,000 people froze to death there in a single century, lost in blizzards, buried in avalanches, alone in the darkness. The monks at the hospice tried everything to help. Then they had an idea. They bred a dog. One dog would become the most famous rescue animal in history. His name was Barry, and his story is more extraordinary than legend.
The Great St. Bernard Pass
Sits 2,469 meters above sea level, a bridge between Switzerland and Italy. For 1,000 years, pilgrims, merchants, and soldiers crossed it. But the Alps don't forgive. In the 1700s, the death rate was catastrophic. Blizzards, avalanches, exposure, exhaustion. The Augustinian monks at the Great St. Bernard Hospice watched from their refuge, helpless. They could shelter some. But most travelers never made it to the hospice. They died in the snow, meters away from safety. The monks needed a solution. They needed something that could survive the harshest conditions on Earth, something that could find lost people in the dark. They needed a partner, so they bred one. The monks started with a mastiff base. Massive, strong, enduring. They bred for specific traits: intelligence to make independent decisions, a nose sensitive enough to track a human scent through snow, an instinct to dig, and most importantly, an unwavering calm under pressure. Around 1800, a puppy was born at the hospice. He was large, he was smart. He was born for exactly one purpose: to save lives. The monks named him Barry. They had no idea they were raising the greatest rescue dog in history. As Barry grew, he was trained in the only classroom that mattered: the mountains themselves. The monks would bury people in the snow. Barry would find them, bury them deeper. Barry would dig harder. The dog wasn't just learning a skill, he was answering a calling. By 1810, Barry was in his prime, strong, experienced, tireless. And so began the rescues that would echo through Alpine history. Barry would be sent out into conditions that would kill most animals. Whiteout blizzards, temperatures 30 below zero, wind speeds that knocked humans off their feet. And Barry would walk into that darkness, nose down, searching. One by one, he found them. A lost merchant, an exhausted soldier, a family separated in a storm. Barry would find them. Then, and this is crucial, Barry wouldn't just bark and wait for the monks. He would physically guide them, nudge them toward the hospice. Sometimes, if they were too weak to walk, Barry would lie down next to them, his massive body providing warmth. The dog understood. Rescue meant not just finding, it meant bringing them home. By age 10, Barry had saved over 40 confirmed lives. He wasn't just a rescue dog, he was a legend. The rescue that defined Barry's legend happened on a day when the mountain was at its most merciless. A mother and child were crossing the pass, fleeing war, seeking safety in Switzerland. The Alps had other plans. An avalanche struck with no warning. One moment they were walking, the next, hundreds of tons of snow buried them. The mother clawed at the snow, trying to find her child. Her strength was fading. The cold was absolute. She was dying. At that exact moment, Barry was released from the hospice, one dog against an Alpine storm. For hours, Barry searched. The blizzard intensified. Visibility dropped to zero. Any other animal would have turned back. Barry did not. His nose found them. under the snow, buried but alive. Barry began to dig. His paws broke through crust and ice. His chest heaved. His breath came in white clouds. And finally, the mother's face appeared. Then the child's. Barry did what he was born to do. He stood guard over them as they gathered strength. Then, impossibly, he guided them both back through the blizzard toward the hospice. A weakened mother, a child, a massive dog who refused to let them die. By the time they reached safety, Barry was barely conscious, exhausted, frozen, frostbitten, but alive. They were alive, and so was he. Every hero pays a price. Barry's frostbitten ears never fully healed. Scars marked his face from ice and exposure. By age 12, his body had given everything it had to give. The monks retired him from rescue work, gently, respectfully. Barry spent his final years at the hospice, warm by the fire, surrounded by the monks who had bred him, trained him, and loved him. He had saved 40 confirmed lives. Some historians claim the number was higher, perhaps 50 or more. No one knows for certain. But what everyone knew was this. Barry had changed the Alps. He had made the pass safer, and he had done it by being exactly what the monks had always known a dog could be. In 1814, Barry died. The monks grieved him as they would grieve a brother. Barry died over 200 years ago, but his story never left the Alps. Today, St. Bernards still work as rescue dogs in the mountains, though now they work alongside helicopters and modern technology. The breed he pioneered is immortal. His preserved body rests in a museum in Bern, a silent reminder of what one dog accomplished through pure, unwavering courage. Barry's legend teaches us something we seem to keep forgetting, that the greatest heroes often walk on four legs, that the most extraordinary acts of sacrifice often come without seeking recognition, and that sometimes the only difference between dying alone in the dark and reaching safety is the presence of a creature brave enough to search for you. Barry searched, and he found 40 people who would have been lost forever. If you want to explore more of history's most incredible animal stories, subscribe to Animal Wars. And next time, we'll discover another creature whose courage reshaped human destiny.